It is our honor to present Mary Ellen Sprenkel with the 2024 Stoneman Brown Advocate of the Year Award.
Wow, I don't know what to say following that introduction and following all of the amazing speakers we have heard tonight. I'm sitting over here with a couple members of my staff, and as Ann Mora is saying, quiet persistence. They're like, they haven't seen you in the office. I was on fire this afternoon, apparently. So it is such an incredible honor to receive this award, the Stoneman Brown National Service Advocate Award, Advocate of the War. Oh. And I didn't even have wine. Advocate of the Year Award. I have to admit, however, that I am definitely suffering from imposter syndrome as I look around the room and I see some of the most effective advocates, at least for national and community service, in the country. People whom I have long admired and viewed as role models. People like my fellow awardees, Senators Coons, Heinrich, and Baldwin, Representatives Houlihan and Kim, Governor Polis, Shirley Sagawa, my board member, my friend, and Voice's own Ann Mora and Jennifer Ney, who also works quietly behind the scenes, or not so quietly. And of course, the two people for whom this award is named, Dorothy Stoneman, founder of Youth Build USA, and Michael Brown. And I am so pleased that you came down for this today, co-founder of City Year. Receiving this award is special for me because 16 years ago, when I first joined the CORE Network, I had the privilege of working side by side with Michael and Dorothy. They had already grown Youth Build and City Year into impressive and impactful programs by the time I met them in 2008. And under their leadership, I watched their respective programs continue to grow and improve. I viewed Dorothy in particular as a mentor for her tireless work to ensure a space for economically disadvantaged youth in national service and AmeriCorps. I've tried to continue that commitment to opportunity youth at the CORE Network. As many of you know, and as Ann Moore referenced, it has long been my goal to bring service and conservation corps to scale through a reimagined version of the Depression-era Civilian Conservation Corps. In 2011, I had the privilege to work on a federal advisory committee to develop the framework for a 21st century conservation corps. And I am very proud that the Biden administration has used that framework to inform the development of the American Climate Corps. And I am even prouder that the Biden administration is working in partnership with the CORE Network and the existing network of service and conservation corps to implement the initiative. However, it's important to acknowledge that the American Climate Corps cannot reach its full potential without the partnership and support of AmeriCorps. And I wouldn't be much of an advocate if I failed to mention the concerning state of funding for AmeriCorps right now. We all know that due to a confluence of budget constraints and cuts, combined with the need to increase the member living allowance, we all knew we were going to see fiscal cuts in fiscal year 2025. The CORE Network and many of the organizations you all represent are currently scrambling to figure out how to withstand these cuts in FY25. In years past, many of us in this room have joined together to fight proposed cuts and even the elimination of AmeriCorps. So, as we talked about earlier, in 2021, thanks largely to Voices and this group and to Senator Coons, AmeriCorps saw an increase of $1 billion to engage Corps members to mitigate the impact of COVID-19 in communities across the country. And we continue to push for legislation to exempt the Education Award from being taxed. And now we must join together again to go to the Hill and work with the administration, including our colleagues and champions at the Corporation for National and Community Service, to ensure the funding we need not only to make our programs whole again in FY26, but to grow them to keep pace with demand. While recruitment was a challenge for many programs during the pandemic, that is no longer the case. within the first 90 days after President Biden launched the American Climate Corps in September, more than 50,000 young people signed up for more information about how to get involved. Last year, member corps of the Corps Network received well over 70,000 applications for approximately 23,000 positions. And I have heard from many of you that your programs are seeing similar increases in demand. If there was ever a time to lean into advocacy for AmeriCorps, the time is now. Speaking from my own experience with the American Climate Corps, thousands of young people are looking for opportunities to make a difference, for opportunities to serve. And thanks to the administration's unprecedented investment in climate change, there are countless opportunities for climate resilient service projects across the country. And I believe that many of you are experiencing the same. In short, after many years of work, I'm excited to see the American Climate Corps become a reality. And I am deeply honored to receive this award, but my work is not over, and neither is yours. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for this award, but I look forward to advocating in partnership with you going forward over the next several months and years to ensure that the American Climate Corps, AmeriCorps, and all national and community service programs can meet their full potential. Thank you.